This video made possible by CSGopher.com, Advanced Counter-Strike Statistics. Disclaimer. What's up guys, my name is EvoQD, and welcome to Betting Made Easy for February 9th, 2015. In this episode, I will cover everything you need to know about betting CSGO Lounge skins for today's matches. So let's go right into this with match number 1. Now this is TSM versus Orbit. Now this is the Dignitas lineup under the new banner of Team Solo Mid. So Dignitas is 4-1 in their last games, whereas Orbit, their opponent, is 2-3. This is a best of 3 online, and the maps are to be determined. Lineup number 1 for TSM, we have Device, Dupree, Kerrigan, Zipnix, and KJB. Lineup 2, we have Sentry, Zed, Pyth, Skyton, Maxi, and Jumpy. The head-to-head matchup is not really available. Orbit is sort of a new lineup and a new banner, and it was difficult to trace back the history for that. The odds on CSGO Launch right now are currently 85-15 in favor of TSM. My personal odds, 90-10, prediction 2-0 TSM. It's a really low risk here. TSM is just Dignitas is it's a tier 1 team. They proved at LAN they are still a top contender for easily top 5 in the world right now as well. The Orbit is a tier 2, and it should be a blowout, especially online. So point number 1, TSM of course is old Dignitas, very strong. Orbit, alright, but they lose to tier 2 teams. They're not like the best tier 2 team. They can't really rival Dignitas. And point number 3, it's a best of 3 online, so this is as consistent as teams are going to get. And the highlights of this, so this is your star players. Look out for Device, Kerrigan, and Pyth. So moving on to match number 2, we have Team Dignitas. Now it's so confusing. So this is the new Dignitas. So this was the ex-Copenhagen Wolves for the past month, with the addition of Fetish and this is like the new Copenhagen Wolves under the banner of Dignitas, playing against Playing Ducks. Now Playing Ducks is 1-4 in the last 5 games. This is a best of 3 online. It should be noted Copenhagen Wolves was 3-2 in their last 5 matches, but that is not in the last month. The roster changes are just like really new. So yeah, so this is again sort of a Anyway, so the head-to-head matchup not available because obviously these teams are very new. Odds in CSGO Lounge are currently 83-17. I personally give this a 70-30 odd. I don't think it's going to be as one-sided as people think. Like, they have the addition of Tabson, who was the in-game leader for Mouse Sports, if you guys remember, back a few months ago. And the prediction, I give it a 2-1 for Dig, personally. I think Dig's going to win, but I think it's not going to be as big a blowout. I think the risk is just, I don't think you should bet on this game, guys. It is just not going to be worth it, because even if you do all in on Dig, the risk of losing all that is just not worth it for that little of a payout. Point number 1, new lineup for Dignitas. People are betting on the old one. That's why the odds on CSGO Lounge are so skewed, is because it says Dignitas. So people see Dignitas and they think, okay, that's the best CT team in the world. Playing Ducks, they're 1-4. Who's this garbage team? Let's not bet on them. That's what people are thinking when they see this. They don't do their research. They don't come watch my videos. I guess this is be the pilot, but they don't watch this video, and they just bet blindly. So this is people betting on the old Dignitas, whereas this is the new Dignitas. It is not the same, so this much of a skew in the numbers is completely wrong. Playing Ducks really aren't that bad as well. They've had a decent showing. And did I mention these are the ex-Copenhagen Wolves? Highlights for this, KJB and Tabson. So match number 3 and 4. Now this is 2 games in a row of best of 1s. Now this is XESC versus Property. XESC is 0-5 in their last 5 games, and Property is 3-2. These are 2 best of 1s online, both for ESCA. The first one is for Inferno, and the second one is for Nuke. So lineup 2, we have Rollin, Minice or Mini SE, I'm not entirely sure, Mouse, Innocent, Zapero. In lineup 2 for Property, we have Schneider, Twist, Berg, Zend, and Pauf. So the head-to-head matchup, again, not available. The odds on CSGO Launch are currently 50-50-ish for both. Like, one might be 55-45, another one might be 55-45, but I'm just ballparking 50-50. Now, I personally give these odds of a 60-40 for ESC on Nuke and a 60-40 for Property on Inferno. Now, I'll explain that a little bit further. My prediction is ESC will win Nuke and Property will win Inferno. I think these are really high-risk game, guys. I wouldn't get involved unless you have some ICVs to get into, but they're both pretty equal teams. Like the 0-5, they played a lot more difficult opponents lately. That's why the 0-5 isn't as bad as it looks. But they both have these favored maps. ESC's only official game on Inferno was actually a 16-0 by Na'Vi on them. So ASC had 0 and Navi had 16. These games are pretty coin toss, but historically ESC is actually a pretty strong nuke team, and I mean Property, they have actual official games on Inferno of wins, and they played I think 4 months ago, and Property won. So I mean that was a best of 1, so it's hard to tell, but this is 2 best of 1, so you think the second game might be a little bit more accurate if the first one was a bit of a fluke. So again, these are coin tosses. Highlights for these matchups: Rollin and Schneider. So we get on to our next matchup. We have match number 5, Titan versus Envy Us. Now this is the NVS is obviously the new LDLC. So Titan is 3-2 in their last 5 matches. Envious is 2-3. Titan is 3-2. Envious is 2-3. Now of course, Titan. Those games are pretty much all from the latest LAN Inferno Online. So those are a little skewed. It's a best of 3. It's online. The maps are to be announced. Lineup number 1 for Titan, we have Existence, Apex, Kenny S, Maniac, and RPK. Lineup 2 for Envious, we have Shocks, MBK, Happy, Kiyoshima, and Smiths. Head-to-head matchup for this is 3-2. And sorry, that is backwards. It should be 2-3. LDLC is ahead in the head-to-head matchup. Titan, at the LAN, even though they did make it to the grand finals, they ended up losing to Fnatic, and Kenny S proved pretty handily he's probably the best player in the world right now. I'm pretty sure not many people would contest that. As far as Opper, he dropped 50 plus kills against Fnatic on Inferno. So, and additionally, I think this game, this is interesting because Titan proved they actually played really well. But then in the later games against Fnatic, they just flopped, and it was pretty much entirely Kenny S. Apex was just missing so many shots, whereas Envious was pretty solid throughout. Like, yeah, they lost to Fnatic, who's shown again that they are still just as strong. So I think in the world right now, Fnatic and LDLC are almost completely equal at rank 1, and Titan would be probably 3 or 4. And in a best of 3 online, Envious is going to win this. I think Titan might take 1 map, but I think Envious is going to win this. So odds on CSKA are 35-65. My personal odds 25-75, and I even think that's low. I'd probably go 20-80 in favor of Envious. Prediction 2-1. Risk low medium. Like I've already explained these points and highlights of this game: Kenny S, Shocks, and Happy. So moving on to match number 6. Hold on. We have Skills versus Skills versus My XMG. Now, this game is something else. It's best of 3 online as well. TBA, the maps are TBA. Lineup number 1 for Skills, we have Flushed, Prelidden, Independent, Kree, and Udi. My XMG, we have Get, Gimpin, Nikki, Neves, and Sinks. Head-to-head matchup not available. Odds on CSKA 50-50. Personal odds 50-50. I have no fucking clue about this game. I just figured I would put up the interest so people don't just blindly bet on something. This honestly is a pretty big coin toss again. Like I could not make an educated guess based off of the forums and everything I was researching. I would say my XMG. I mean, like 51-49, I guess, but definitely don't hold me to that because this is something else. So yeah, guys, this is actually the end of Betting Made Easy for February 9, 2015. I hope it was somewhat informative and hope maybe you learned something. If you did enjoy the video, guys, be sure to subscribe. There should be an annotation on your screen right now. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for Betting Made Easy, February 10th. Take it easy and best of luck on betting.